Hey guys, welcome back to Practical series where we are discussing data warehouse practicals for TY BSc-IT semester 6. My name is Professor Tiruk Parmar. So, in this particular series, we are already done discussing this 6 practical, that is configuring listener, creating database, configuring repository and workspace, logging into design center, defining a target warehouse module and designing dimension. As well as we are already done discussing this 7th practical as well, that is designing cubes, which is divided in two parts, cube measures and cube dimensionality, and second part of the same practical, that is designing mappings, where we discuss about designing a mapping between external table and dimensions. So we are already done discussing all these 7 practicals. Now we'll start with the 8 practicals. Now basically in 8th part or in 8th practical, I'm going to discuss one of the most important practical, which is very important for 2017 practical examination. So let's start discussing the new practical. Discussing about working with pivot tables and pivot charts in Excel. So as you can see, I have this particular file present with me, that is pivot table practices sales transaction. So I have one table which is ready with few of the detail which is very important to generate pivot chart. So I just need to open this particular Excel file into Microsoft Excel, as you can see this. And one more thing, I will upload the same document. You can find download link in video description section, from where you can download the same file and you can practice as well. So we have multiple sheets here. We have to go to payments. As you can see, we have multiple raw records here. I'll just arrange it so that we can easily take a view of the same. So as you can see, we have many different details here, like date, surname, package, amount, payment method, salesperson. Now before discussing about this particular part, we should have some basic knowledge about the same. That is very important. So pivot tables are one of the most powerful feature of Microsoft Excel. They allow large amount of data to be analyzed and summarized in just a few mouse clicks. In this particular practical, we explore pivot tables, understand what they are, and learn how to create and customize them. Make a note of one thing, that in this particular practical, I am using Excel 2016. The concept of pivot table has changed little over the years, but the method of creating one has changed in nearly every iteration of Excel. If you are using a version of Excel that is not 2016, expect different screens from ones you see in this particular practical. Just remember this particular part. Now, what we mean by pivot tables. So, if I put it in a very simple way, a pivot table is a summary of some data created to allow easy analysis of said data. But unlike a manually created summary, Excel pivot tables are interactive. Once we have created one, we can easily change it if it doesn't offer the exact insight into your data that we were hoping for. In a couple of clicks, the summary can be pivoted, rotated in a such a way that the column heading becomes row headings and vice versa. There is a lot more that can be done too. Rather than try to describe all features of pivot tables, we'll just start demonstrating the same. Now, as you can see, we have multiple data present here. What we are going to do is, we'll just start with our practical. As you can see, we have many records here. This all are raw data. So if we were to track down the original list of sales transaction, it might look something like this. You may be surprised to learn that using the pivot table features of Excel, we can create a monthly sales summary similar to one we just saw in this particular practical. Now, how to create a pivot table? First, ensure that you have some raw data in a worksheet in Excel. So I have some raw data here. A list of financial transaction is typical. Basically, we apply this pivot method on financial transaction, but it is not always compulsory. We can apply it on employee contact details, or we have some CD collection or fuel consumption figures of your company, of fleet cars or something. So let's start with the same. So what we need to do, once we have the list open in Excel, we are ready to start creating pivot table. Click on any one cell. So as you can see, I have clicked on one cell. I have selected one cell from the list. Then we have to go to insert. As you can see, we have insert here. Click there. As soon as we click on insert, we can find a option about pivot tables. The create pivot table option appears here. It asks us for two questions. So let's just start with this. As you can see, just click on it. So as soon as we click on it, it asks us two questions. What data should your new pivot table be based on, and where should it be created? Because we already clicked on a cell within the list, the entire list surrounding that cell is already selected. As you can see, all the cells surrounding that particular cell is already selected. Sorry. Note that we could select a list in any other region of any other worksheet as well, or even some external data sources such as an Access database table or even as MS SQL Server database tables as well. We also need to select whether we want our new pivot table to be created on a new worksheet, as you can see, new worksheet, or on existing one. We have two options here. So in this particular practical, we'll start with the new worksheet. So keep this particular option similar and click on OK. As soon as we click on OK, as you can see, as soon as we click on OK, we can find a new sheet which is ready here. So we have new sheet. As you can see, the new worksheet is created for us and a blank pivot table is created on that worksheet. So we have this blank pivot table. Another box also appears in the pivot table field list. As you can see here, the field list will be shown whenever we click on any cell within the pivot table in this particular pivot table. So we have many different fields here. If I just drag it a more, as you can see, we have many different fields here. Just a second. So as you can see, we have many different fields here. Now the list of fields in the top part of this box is actually the collection of column headings from the original raw data worksheets. The four blank boxes in lower part of this particular screen allows us to choose the way we would like our pivot table to summarize the raw data. So far, there is nothing in those boxes, so the pivot table is blank. All we need to do is drag fields down from the list above and drop them into lower boxes. A pivot table is then automatically created to match our instruction. If we get it wrong, we only need to drag the field back to where they came from and or drag new field down to replace them. The value which we have here, we'll just select it. So let's start with the practical. I hope this particular screen, what the screen all about is clear to you. We can again drag it back to its original position. Now what we need to do, the value box is arguable the most important of the four. The field that is dragged into this box represents the data that need to be summarized in some way. That is by summing, averaging, finding the maximum or minimum, and many different things. We already talk about, we already have a basic understanding about aggregate functions. So here also we can do the same. We can sum something, we can take out the average of some sales or something. At the same time, we can find some minimum value, maximum value, and many different things. It is almost always numerical data. A perfect candidate for this box in our sample data is amount. So we'll just select a field that is amount. So as soon as we select a field, as you can see, that particular field, you just need to drag it, or we can say, click on it, and it already appears in this particular field as well, and you can just find something here as well. So what is that? Now notice that amount field in the list of field is now ticked. Sum of amount, this is what we mean by summation sign. So sum of amount has been added to the values box, indicating that amount column has been summed. If we examine the pivot table itself, We indeed find the sum of all the amounts values from the raw data worksheet. We have created our first pivot table. Now handy but not particularly impressive. It's likely that we need a little more insight into our data than that what we are talking about. So referring to our sample data, we need to identify one or more column headings that we could conceivably use to split this total. For example, we may decide that we would like to see a summary of our data where we have raw headings for each of different salesperson in our company and a total for each. To achieve this, all we need to do is to drag the salesperson field into raw labels. So now we are going to click on salesperson. As you can see here, we have salesperson. Just click on it. So as soon as we click on it, now finally things starts to get interesting here. Our pivot table starts to take shape. With a couple of clicks, we have created a table that would have taken a long time to do manually. So what else can we do here? Well, in one sense, a pivot table is complete. We have created a usual summary of our source data that is very important for us. So we have, as you can see in a raw, we have salesperson. Here the total is given here, which is already automatically generated. And the same way, we are also going to choose one more thing, that is a payment method. Remember, we have selected payment method here. And as you can see, all the list here, it comes in a column wise. We can change here as well. So what we are going to do, we'll just change this all the details in a row wise. How to do that? Just drag this particular payment from this particular column to this particular part. So as you can see, we have changed our pattern in a column way. So now it is showing some of the main most important detail, like some of the total of all this salesperson. We have many salesperson like Bob and many different things. Then we have payment methods. So which are the payment method? We have cash, check, MasterCard, Visa, and many different things. So we have created two-dimensional table here. Let's do that by using payment method as a column heading. Simply drag payment method, which we already did. And as soon as we did this particular part, remember now we have 3 dimension. So it means we have created 3-dimensional table here. We have 3 dimension, that is salesperson, then amount and payment methods. Remember, now to make it a more more interesting, we are going to use one more thing here, that is packages. So now we'll click on packages. So as you can see, the package is also listed in a rows. So all the packages are listed in a row wise, but we want a better view than this. It is a bit confusing. So what we are going to do, we'll just filter out packages based on some specific conditions. So just drag it here to in a filter box. So as you can see, we have filtered out. So now we can filter out our packages based on some specific condition. So as you can see, we have packages, all the packages are listed here. If you click on it, we'll find different packages here as well. So this allows to filter our report based on which holiday package was being purchased. For example, we can see breakdown of salesperson versus payment method for all the packages, or with a couple of clicks, change it to show the same breakdown of for Sunseeker's package. We have many different options here. One is Sunseeker as well. Basically, I have not listed out in this particular practical, but of course you can just click on it and you will find many different options here. And so if you think about it the right way, our pivot table is now 3-dimensional. So how we can do much things here now? Let's just look at here. If it turns out, say, that we only want to see check and MasterCard or some credit card transaction, that is no cash transaction, if we want to see, then we can hide this particular cash transaction only. So we can so we'll get in 3-dimensional table, we'll get only few detail based on our requirement. So what we need to do, just go to payment methods here. As you can see, we have many different options listed out here, that is cash, check, MasterCard and Visa card. So out of this, what we are going to do, we are just going to untick cache option from here. So as soon as we untick and click OK, as you can see, now our table is modified. Now as you can see, we have only few columns are listed out here, which does only which only shows about transaction for our holiday packages, which is made with some check or some debit card or credit card, and which salesperson basically made this particular type of a transaction. So here we are done with our pivot table. Now we'll start with our next practical, that is how to create a pivot chart. I hope this particular part of practical is clear. Now let's start with the second part. So again, go to our same particular table. Now what we are going to do, first ensure that you have some raw data in worksheet in Excel. So let's start with that. Now what we need to do, we just need to click on select any particular cell here, then click on insert field here. So I have selected any one field here and then click on insert. So as soon as we click on insert, remember in older version of Excel you will find pivot table and pivot chart option in this particular here as well on the topmost left side corner, but in 2016 we have option here. As you can see here, we have pivot chart option. So whichever version you are using, just go to insert tab and just find it out. It should here at any place only. So what we are going to do now, just click on insert icon and click on pivot chart. So as soon as we click on pivot chart, remember the create pivot chart table with pivot chart box appears, asking you two questions. What question it going to ask us? Let's just see. So as soon as we click on it, it asks us two questions, similar question which Excel asked while creating pivot table as well. So what data should your new pivot table be based on and where should it be created? It asking us two questions. The same way we already clicked on cell within the list. So as you can see, if we click on any particular cell, all the records besides or around that particular cell is already selected in a background, and it asks us two questions. And here we are going to start with a new worksheet, so make this option as new worksheet only. Now just click on OK. So as you can see, we have two options: start an existing worksheet or create a new worksheet. So for our new chart, we'll start with a new worksheet. So as you can as soon as we click on this, as you can see, we have this particular type of option. We have this blank pivot chart here, and again we have this pivot chart fields here. So whichever field we are going to choose, as per that it will generate a graph here. So what we are going to do, just look at this particular screen here, that is pivot chart fields. We have many different, this all are the columns which is present in our table, and here we have this particular four boxes here. What we need to do, just drag this particular fields in these boxes, and as soon as we drag this particular field in these boxes, as per that our chart will be reacted. So let's start with our practical. Now remember, we have this particular part is called as filter chart. So using the pivot chart filter pan, we have filter pan to sort, filter and underlying data and a changes that appears. So as you can see, we have this filter pan. This is the filter pan. Remember, axis field, that is category box we have here. Now all this particular part, this displays the item from the row label of the associated pivot table report that form individual category for which data points are charted. Categorize appears on horizontal axis, and this particular part, let's start with let's start with the practical. So here as you can see, we have many different things here. As soon as I click on any particular field here, it shows us a chart for that particular field. So for example, if we have selected amount here, so it will show me a total number of amount in a chart particular manner. So as you can see, it shows us summation. Why? Because we have selected amount and that particular field is dragged in value summation field. So that's why it is showing summation of all these things, remember. Then we have many different fields as well. So in this particular part, we have we have selected one more field, that is salesperson. Now remember, in this salesperson, it's showing something like access field. So what we mean by this access field, let's just discuss this. This displays item from the raw label of associated pivot table report that forms individual category for which data points are charted here. Categories appears on horizontal or category axis, also called as x-axis and y-axis. So remember, axis means x-axis and y-axis. So we have some fields. Out of that, it's showing something on x-axis, that is the name of salesperson, and they're basically sales made by them. On y-axis, it is showing like that. Then we have something like legends here, as you can see. So what is legends? So let's just see here now. You can increase the size of the same here as well by zooming out or zooming in. Now we are going to click on packages. So as soon as we click on packages, and we are also going to click on payment methods, remember, and then we are going to just filter out it. So what we are going to do, drag it, packages to filter it out. So we have just dragged packages from access category to filter pattern. So now it will filter packages based on some specific category. As you can see, we have this particular list here, so we can filter out packages based on some different packages which is provided in this particular table. And the same way, payment method, we are going to drag it into legends. So now remember what we mean by legends. Legends means this particular different category, it shows in different patterns. So this display item from a column label that associated pivot table report that forms the individual data series. The name of the series appear in legends of the pivot report. The report filter box, as you can see here, is the associated pivot table report, has one or more report filters. You can use the report filter box as a convenient way to summarize and quickly focus on subset of data without modifying your series and category information. To start with the pivot table, we'll just select few of this. So we have selected many fields from here, and based on that, it just generates one type of a chart. Remember, legends, these are the legends here. So cash transaction is showing in one particular color, then check transaction is showing in red color, and many different things. So that is what we mean by legends here, remember. So we have selected few fields from here and drag those fields here in this particular filter outing box. So we have access, summation values, and many different things. And remember, from this particular category, that is, we have this payment methods. If you click on this payment method, we can find it different fields here. So if I want just a payment which is made by credit card or debit card or check, those fields only I want to display on a chart. So we can just deselect few of the fields here. For example, I have deselected MasterCard and Visa, and then if we click on OK, it will display fields only based on, or it displays transaction which is only made by check or cash. So as you can see, our chart is modified. So this is our last practical, that is working with pivot chart and pivot table. I hope this particular part is clear. Thank you.